Very good afternoon, dear Dwanians. Welcome to one more amazing meeting of the new XCOM. Myself, Prasanna Kumar, and I will be the SAA for today's meeting. Like in any other meeting, even here we have some rules to follow. In fact, our human life is completely associated with rules. Last week, I was peeping into my friend's laptop when he was typing the password, and then he said, "Hey, boss, you can't look at my laptop like that because something called we have to follow digital etiquettes, it seems." So, like 2 weeks ago, I was standing in the line. Actually, I cut the line, and then he said, "Boss, you're cutting the line. Please follow the line." So, wherever you go, we are associated with rules. Our human life is completely associated with this. So even today, now in Dhwani Toastmasters meeting, we are following certain rules. Number one, this meeting is being publicly recorded and it is publicly available. Number two, in case if you're not talking, please mute your camera. And if you're moving away from the screen, please turn off your camera. And third one, don't talk about the topics like sex, caste, and then religion, which may hurt the sentiments of other people. And last one, in case if you are dropping in between the meeting, which we don't recommend at all, but if you have to, then please leave us a text message before you leave the meeting. Now, the stage is already set for the meeting, but to take this meeting forward, I would like to call someone who is been into Toastmasters for about 3 to 4 years and has taken up various roles in Toastmasters, has been Vice President Education, and then many other roles. Now, currently, she is the President of Dhwani Toastmasters Club, and by profession, she does coding, and she has a master's in foodie and PhD in sarcasm, and she loves to talk, loves to eat. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and please welcome her, Toastmaster Sanjana, and the virtual podium is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prasanna. That was, I was wondering where did I get my master's from, and thanks for enlightening me that I already have a master's in eating. Thanks for that warm welcome. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Dhwani meeting. The theme of today's meeting is the stage. So I want to know from you what a stage means to you. Anybody who can unmute themselves?
All the world is a stage. So said Shakespeare, not me.
Of course. I would expect nothing less from you, Toastmaster Samrendra. Anyone else?
Stage is a place where it's not just only me, others will see me. It could be a real live stage, or it could be in a social media where people can see me.
Nicely put.
At whatever stage we are, this too shall pass.
Wonderful. Thank you. That can't be more aptly said by our very own God. Thank you, Vijay, for your inputs as well. Anyone else wants to share what stage means to them?
Stage means performance.
Wonderful. Thank you, Shashank. And yes, so as you've already said, most of the answers have already been given about what the stage is. To me, a stage is where I can be free, where I can be completely myself. That's of course the virtual or the physical stage that I'm talking to, but the stage has a deeper meaning. The entire life is a stage, and this too shall pass, and we're all here as players of God's game, and we are all putting a face, a mask, maybe we are without mask. It's basically a beautiful place to be, showcase our talents, be ourselves, maybe not ourselves. And Dhwani is one such stage for me that I can completely be happy, free, without worries, except for technical glitches that arise once in a while. Otherwise, it's a beautiful stage that all of us come here to express ourselves and tell stories, learn from each other, teach each other, and grow together. So that is what stage means to me, and Dhwani represents exactly that for me. We have a lot of guests today. With that, I would like to request the guests to introduce themselves. Firstly, I think we'll start with Toastmaster Kirtana. You've been here. I would request you to introduce yourself again. You're on mute, Toastmaster Kirtana.
Okay, sorry. A very good afternoon, everyone. And I'm Kirtana from Transcend Toastmasters Club 2, here for giving my speech today. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Kirtana. It's great to have you, and we enjoyed your presence last time. We're looking forward to your speech this time as well. Next, we have Neeresh. Can you please unmute and introduce yourself?
Hey, hello, everyone. I'm sorry. This is the first meeting I'm attending at Dhoni Toastmasters. In fact, I came to Toastmasters after many years. So thanks to a team, chasing me up and making me part of this group. So I am Neeresh, and I stay in BTM layout. I'm also a techie, like I think you. So doing a lot of coding nowadays. Yeah, I mean, that's about me. Anything else I'm supposed to say?
No, thank you. It's great to have you. Looking forward to you joining us for more meetings.
Yeah.
And just a clarification, I'm not a techie, I'm a content developer.
Okay, somebody said coding. I mean, so
yeah, it happens. It's okay.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, moving on. Great to have you here, Neeresh.
Yeah.
Next, can we have Sanket B introduce himself? I know you were here for evaluation, but yeah, please join the meeting and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Sanket Balaji. I'm from Transcend Toastmasters Club 2, and this is my first ever time attending this Dhoni club. Trying to seek a lot of information and knowledge from this club. So let's see where this thing takes me. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanket. I hope we do justice to your time. Okay, we have one more guest, Santosh Sunkad.
Yeah, hi. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks. So sorry, I will not be able to join via video. I'm unwell today.
That's okay.
I'm Santosh. I'm from Bangalore. I stay near JP Nagar. As a profession, I'm an IT professional. So yeah, I look forward for this meeting and a lot to learn from this. Yeah, from the sessions.
Thank you, Santosh. Thank you so much. It's great having you here. We also look forward to you joining us for more meetings. Thank you, everybody. It's great being here. Today was a theme of tricolor, and I see that a few of you have abided by the rules, and especially our I'm back. Sorry, a lot of glitches today. Anyway, I hope all of you, I was saying that today's dress code was tricolor. I have abided by the rules, and I have a very beautiful, elegant person who has also abided by the rules to the T, and I'm really excited to introduce to her. She's the goddess of Dhwani right now. We always listen to her with her poems, and I'm scared to tell anything because I know she's going to correct me if I say something wrong. So she's a teacher by profession, and she carries that throughout Dhwani as well. And we love to have her. She's chirpy, she's always talking, and she's always enlightening everybody's mood. If she's in the meeting, I know it's going to go great because her presence and energy itself fills the room with so much positivity. With that, I would like to introduce Toastmaster Kokila to take the meeting forward. You're on mute, Toastmaster Kokila.
Thank you, President Sanjana, for that warm introduction. Yes, Dhwani is something that I always look forward to. And whether it's virtual or offline, I would always come dressed to the occasion and dressed for the occasion. And I love dressing up. Well, saying that, let's get on to business. They have called me, they meaning the ExCom team, has given me an important and responsible role of that of being the Toastmaster of the day. And being the Toastmaster of the day, I'm supposed to have given the theme of the meeting. And the theme, has been said by the earlier two speakers, happens to be the stage. Now, the stage, the word stage can be interpreted in different ways. And TM Sanjana literally stole the words out of my mouth, because I wanted to ask the members as to what their interpretation of the word was. Definitely, the interpretations that came out from different members, to all of us, we have our own perspectives. Yes. So without further delay, let me do what I am entitled to do today. TM Samarendra also stole the words from me today by quoting the bard William Shakespeare, who said in the 1500s that all the world is a stage, all men and women merely players. They have their entrances and their exits, and one man in his time plays many roles. This is what he said. And it is so relevant even to this day. So metaphorically spoken those days, and it is true to any place, anywhere that can be transformed into a stage. Just to give you a glimpse of what a stage would be when there is no stage proper. 3 days ago, the nation witnessed the Republic Day parade, and Rajpath became the stage for the grand parade that was there. The tableaus and the disciplined regimental march past of the contingents that went past the salute days, that was a stage. And the entire nation was in awe of that grandeur. The azure sky was the stage for those magnificent men and their flying machines, making jaw-dropping maneuvers. So for the stage, there's no limit at all. It could be the ground, it could be mid-air, it could be the skies. So this is where you need to understand when Shakespeare uttered those lines, all the world's a stage, anywhere in the world. Even if you're on a liner on the Pacific Ocean, it becomes a stage. Every experience that we have in life is performed on a stage that is invisible to us. Nevertheless, it's a stage. I'll give you a personal experience about this. When after the incident was over, I went back and then I recollected Shakespeare's words. This happened on the road, very close to a traffic signal. I was riding pillion with my husband, and 2 lanes away, there was an auto rickshaw driver standing close to his auto rickshaw with passengers inside. This guy was puffing away to glory. And I tried to attract his attention. Being a teacher, when something wrong happens in front of me, I try my level best to correct it. So nobody can stop me doing that. And I tried to attract his attention because he was 2 lanes away. And then I started making gestures and I quickly caught his attention. And then I made, it was dumb charades happening there. I said this, I said in the sense, I did this. So I told him to put it down. That man, he was flabbergasted. And what did he do? Immediately he put the burning cigarette down. He dropped it. He not only dropped it, but he stamped out the burning piece. I was so glad that I could convey some value to him. And that part of the road near the signal became the stage for this whole action to be enacted. As the signal turned green, we exchanged smiles. We did thumbs up to each other and then proceeded and parted ways. My dear friends, this is what a stage is all about. It's not necessary that a stage has to be, interpreted as a stage where you go and perform. We are all performers in some way or the other. We are all performers. And to understand the stage better, let us not, when I told you this about playing dumb charades, I would never want anyone to undermine the power of the spoken word. The spoken word, I believe, is light like the wind and very powerful like that, or very powerful like a thunderbolt. I did not say this, but the great man who gave us a platform like this, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley, said this. It is there in the tribute paid by one of the director of the International Toastmasters, who's mentioned this, quoting Dr. Ralph C. Smedley. He is considered to be the founder and father of Toastmasters International. How he started it was trying to instill confidence in youngsters and training them to develop and improve their communication skills. And so it started way back in 1924 on October 24th, they say, at YMCA, California. This man went on to establish the Toastmasters, and it just spread like wildfire. Currently, there are more than 350,000 clubs, memberships, that the information says, and more than 16,000 clubs spread over 143 countries. So is it not time for us to salute a man who gave mankind the stage? Yes. So with a wholehearted gratitude to him, let us also try to understand that the stage as itself is a platform which makes us articulate and express ourselves fearlessly, because many of us experience what is called stage fear. So this Dhwani is an offshoot of the Toastmasters, wherein every member gets that opportunity to go on to the stage and express himself and herself without the element of fear. So today's meeting, I would like to describe to the guests and the other members, though we are familiar with it. We have 3 segments. The first segment of the meeting involves the prepared speeches, wherein 2 or 3 speakers come and take, they are there on the stage to deliver the speeches. So the first section is the prepared speeches section. The second session is where we have somebody who's the table topics master, who will take the program through with his or her wonderful topics, wherein the speakers will speak their heart out, and that too, it's impromptu. And this is where the speaker will have to test his mettle. And then we have the third segment, which is the evaluation segment, wherein we have the general evaluator who will come in and evaluate the entire day's proceedings. And the day's proceedings that will be evaluated by the general evaluator is something that we all need to pay attention to. So I would like to introduce to all of you the general evaluator of today, and that is Toastmaster Jayasima. Toastmaster Jayasima, I would like to introduce you as I know you, not as much as we know you. We know you to have been a Toastmaster for more than 5 years, and also having played different roles, having won awards. But then let me introduce Toastmaster Jayasima in the way that we do not know about him. So probably a few of you who have been personally associated with him would know it. But let me tell you this, and I hope TM Jaisimha approves of it. Now, this gentleman, whom I refer to as a general evaluator, is a self-motivated perfectionist. We may not find him wearing his heart on his sleeve, but nevertheless, he is fervid and fastidious about everything that he does. Be it making crispy dosas with concentric rings that you can count. Okay? To watching movies of all genres with his family, or to keeping his house immaculately clean and neat, and also to taking care of the children who belong to the educational needs of children from underprivileged families. All this is an amalgamation called Jaisimha. Okay. This gentleman's pleasant demeanor is one of his assets. And please be aware that as general evaluator, what he would be doing today is he will be unobtrusively observing all speakers and all role takers. So welcome to the meeting, Toastmaster Jaisimha, our general evaluator. Over to you. Before he comes, I'd like to quote this. Jaisimha's mantra is, always choose activity over ease as it adds value to your life. I repeat, always choose activity over ease as it adds value to your life. That is our TM Jaisimha's mantra. Over to you, TM Jaisimha.
One of the best ways of, this is one of the reasons why people should take roles every week in Toastmasters. You get to hear such wonderful introductions, and Toastmaster Kokila, you made my day. Maybe not just my day, my weekend too. Thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. As a general evaluator for today, I will be evaluating the whole meeting from the beginning to the end. And at the end of the meeting, I'll be giving my feedback about the whole meeting. And to assist me in this process of evaluation will be 4 people. We call it as a TAGL team: the timer, the counter, the grammarian, and the listener. So each of these persons will come and we'll talk about what their role is, what the responsibility is for today. Let me start with the timer for today. Timer for today is Toastmaster Shalini. Toastmaster Shalini, will you please unmute and tell what your role is for today?
Thank you, General Evaluator Jaisimha. Good afternoon to fellow Toastmasters and guest speakers. Today I'll be acting as a timer, and I'll be timing the table topic speakers, formal speakers, and the evaluators. I will also alert each speaker the time they have left by using green, red, and yellow cards. It goes as follows. For the table topic speakers, the time will be limit from will be minimum for 1 minute and maximum for 2 minutes. It goes like this. At 1 minute, I will be raising the green card. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, I'll be raising the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I'll be raising the red card. For the other speakers, the time will be for 5 to 6 minutes. For 4 minutes, I'll be raising the green card. But at 6 minutes, I'll be raising the yellow card. And at 6 minutes, I'll be raising the red card. For the individual evaluators, the time will be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll be raising the green card. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I'll be raising the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I'll be raising the red card. Thank you, Mr. Jaisimha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shalini. Please make a note of a couple of corrections. One is that the speakers today, I think it's for 5 to 7 minutes, both the speakers. So whatever Shalini said, 5, 6, and 7 is the green, yellow, and the red card. And that were all the speakers, whether it's the evaluators or the prepared speeches and the table topic speakers, all of you will have 30 seconds extra as grace after the time what has been mentioned by Toastmaster Shalini. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shalini. Our counter for today is Toastmaster Shailesh. Again, I request him to please tell what actually his role is for today. Toastmaster Shailesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaisimha. Dear Toastmasters and guests, so I would be counting the number of A's, and O's and the filler words. So if there are any pauses, I would be counting those. So please avoid those because I would be counting, and then at the end of the meeting, I would be sharing the report to the GE. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Shailesh. The grammarian for today, our resident god, Toastmaster Sudarshan. Will you please unmute yourself and tell us what your role is for today, Sudarshan?
Thank you so much, Jaisimha, for first asking me to unmute. Otherwise, I would have gone on start blabbering. Thank you so much. I am the god today. Happy to be back as god. There is fierce competition to be god today. And well, my job as god or grammarian of the day is to keep track of the good as well as the weak usage of English language. And I shall be giving my report at the end of the session. Let me begin with a phrase of the day first. Wear your heart on the sleeve is the phrase of the day. Well, let me begin by setting the tone straight. Okay, I'm wearing my topi on my head rather. This is a symbolic way of saying it, giving way of life to that expression. Okay, now coming back to that expression, wear your heart on your sleeve, that goes back. The expression finds its way to Shakespeare's great tragedy, Othello. You can find it there. And I do not know whether it is something, this day is something is connected to Shakespeare because his name has been coming up so frequently. We have been fervently using that name today. And well, the word of the day is fervid. The meaning is fiery, ardent, impassioned. It is characterized by intense emotions. Well, it is not just given to, Valentine's Day. It can be for anything. The parent fervidly hoped that his daughter would score well in the exams. I can put it that way too. And well, as a grammarian, I make a fervid appeal to all of you to use the word fervidly in your speeches today. Let no speech be tepid without fervid in it. Okay, I urge you, and all the best to each speaker. Over to you, back to GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudarshan. Listener for today is Toastmaster Shashank. Shashank, are you able to hear me, Shashank?
Thank you, Jaisimha. Am I audible and visible?
Yeah, you're audible and visible, loud and clear. Go ahead, Shashank. Please explain what your role is for today.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. According to an old saying, it's said that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. It's basically to listen more and speak less. But at Toastmasters, we try to balance the act and try to do both equally. And that we try to speak more and listen more. And at Dhwani, we try our best to practice the art of doing both equally. And that is why we have the listener. As the listener for today, I urge all of you to be fervid listeners and also wear your heart on your sleeve while answering my questions. Oops, did I say heart? I think you should be wearing your ears on your sleeves. And I'll be back at the end of your end of the session. And I'm sure you will do your best to compete by wearing a heart on your sleeves. I look forward to presenting my question paper at the end. Thank you so much, and over to you, Jaisimha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shashank. A big round of applause for all the 4 role takers, Shailesh, Sudarshan, Shashank, and Sudarshan. At the end of the meeting, all of us will be back to evaluate and give our report of how the meeting went by. At this point of time, I'd like to hand over the mic to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kokila. Over to you. Please unmute yourself, Toastmaster Kokila.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster and General Evaluator Jaisimha, for introducing your team to all of us. Well, without much ado, let's set our virtual stage on fire as the first speaker will come on. And our first speaker is a fine lady who we all know to be very articulate and expressive. And professionally, she is a content writer. That's what has been spoken about a little while ago. But what we do not know about her is something that I would like to explain to all of you. She is a fervid cook. I believe she ran a cafe called Chakoli, and this Chakoli served a lot of North Karnataka goodies. And I also got to know that these goodies would find their way to Dhwani Club when things were happening physically, and every member just ate those lip-smacking goodies and only said, "E dil mange more." So COVID has been a spoil sport. It has cast its evil eye, and therefore there is just a comma for this cafe called Chakoli, and it will, of course, definitely continue when things settle down. This speaker about whom I'm speaking right now is a big-time foodie herself. Not only that, she loves making biryani. She's an expert. Her culinary expertise is in preparing biryani. And the specialty in the biryani is the, what is it called? The paneer biryani. Oh my God, my mouth is watering. Give me a second to wipe my mouth. Apart from that, she's a movie buff. She watches romantic comedies is what I know of her. And her favorites are Aamir Khan, Alia Bhatt, and Deepika Padukone. Her favorite stars, movie stars. Apart from this, she loves to go for long walks, and she's that happy-go-lucky kind, always wearing her heart on her sleeve. Being a chatterbox right from her childhood, it's no wonder she's found the right stage and platform for her to express herself, and that is the Dhwani platform. Today, too, she's attempting her icebreaker speech, a speech wherein she would pay tribute to her learning resources. I would like to call upon her speech evaluator, Toastmaster Samarendra, to spell out the objectives of Sanjana's speech. Over to you, TM Samarendra.
Thank you, TMOD, Kokila. So Toastmaster Sanjana will be delivering her icebreaker in innovative planning pathway. And this project is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Although we all know that she's a very versatile speaker and has already earned her spurs many times over. So without further delay, I will be handing this back to TMOD and wishing you all the best, TM Sanjana.
Thank you, TM Samarendra. Well, as first speaker, TM Sanjana, the center stage is yours. Please do take the center stage as you wish to pay tribute to your learning resources. Sanjana, ode to my teachers. Ode to my teachers, Sanjana. Over to you, Sanjana.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kokila. On a quiet Tuesday afternoon, such as this, in the beautiful city of Pune, just as the sun was about to set, a noisy baby was born. And that baby never stopped making noise ever since. Even to this minute, she's standing in front of you and making noise. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. As you all may have already known, Toastmaster Kokila has said I have been a talkative child, and this goes back since my birth. Even when I was just a tender baby of 3 years old, and my mom would try to feed me by telling ghost stories, telling that the ghost would come and take me away if I don't eat, I would stop her and tell her that if she doesn't listen to my stories, the ghost would take her away. And so she should listen to my stories instead. That's how talkative I was as a kid. Those were the years of innocence with a tinge of naughtiness. To join me in this naughtiness, my sister was born in the year 2000. And as a family, we moved from Pune to Bangalore. The one thing that remained constant, be it in Pune or in Bangalore, was the complaint from the teachers that Sanjana is a very talkative girl. This came as a big surprise to my parents because they're all very quiet human beings. They often wondered if I was exchanged in the hospital or maybe something happened to me and I chose to speak on behalf of all of them. So as you can see, I was extremely talkative. So Toastmaster was the most obvious thing that would happen in my life. Coming to my growing up years in my school, I was a normal kid with decent grades, participating in co-curricular activities, etc. Until I reached high school. That is when there was this urge to do something, maybe top the class and stand out. So I would study day and night to become the topper of the class, but I would always fall short of a couple of marks. So in my 10th standard, I finally gave up and I thought, let me just focus on acquiring knowledge. Let me just focus on knowing every nook and corner of the textbook. And guess what? I surprisingly topped the class in my 10th boards. Knock, knock. That was my first experience with the world's best teacher. It's called Experience, Miss Experience. She was here to tell me that if you keep focusing on the goal and just enjoy the process, learn the process thoroughly, that is when the prize is definitely going to be yours. With that knowledge, I moved on to college. In the college, I was like a frog in the well who had just been introduced to a large ocean. Everybody in college was so good with everything. They were excellent. They knew what they wanted and they were well in the path of what they wanted to achieve, but I had no clue. And this introduced me to the world of insecurity, which ended up affecting my grades. And I sat there crying and depressed. That's when knock, knock, Miss Experience was there to tell me, every minute that you spend thinking about your past is a minute stolen from your future. So that's when I decided to dust my back off, get up and do something that I like. I went on to pursue my degree in biotechnology, which was my favorite subject. I did well in my studies. I participated in a ton of co-curricular activities, won drama, elocution, quiz, and everything under the sun. So I completed my bachelor's in 3 years with flying colors, after which I wanted some industry exposure. So I went and found a job for myself. But the job was nothing short of a nightmare. The boss was always nagging, irritating, picking on your insecurities and shouting and yelling. It had created an extremely toxic work environment. And this negativity quickly translated into my life. And you could find me yelling at every person under the sun every time they came in front of me. But then something happened. One of my friends called and she told me that she was in a very terrible situation because she didn't even have a job and the family burden was upon her. And that's when I realized, hey, my situation is not so bad. I at least have a job. That's when I decided, let me be grateful. Just after a few days of practicing gratitude, it was like almost magic that I got a better job. And That's when I had another encounter with Miss Experience, teaching me that when you focus on what the little things and be grateful for them, you'll be bestowed with more. Instead, if you keep cribbing, you lose even the things that you have. With that knowledge, I went on to do well in the job for a couple of years, and then I was bitten by the entrepreneurial bug. And that's when I decided to start a cafe, which continued for 2 years. As you all have known and eaten goodies from there, it was on the way to become a success. But then COVID-19 played havoc, and we had to shut it down. Meanwhile, I had gotten a job in content writing, which I'm continuing to do so for now. But my story is far from over. I'm still rendezvousing with my teachers, my experiences, learning on the way. And as long as you're moving forward, you are becoming. That is what I believe. With that, I would like to conclude my speech because my story is far from over. Over to you, Toastmaster Kokila.
Oh my goodness, Toastmaster Sanjana. I think the stage would have been mighty pleased to have you on it. If you were to personify the stage would say, Sanjana, I love you, darling. That's what the stage would say. So very expressive. I learned quite a few things from your speech. One thing is, every time you said knock, knock, there was a learning that was happening. Madam Experience was teaching you a lot of things, and what a tribute to pay to that madam. And it is definitely not going to end. Your story is far from being over. I totally agree with that. And you spoke about gratitude, the mother of all virtues, gratitude. That is a great learning. That's a great takeaway that I have from your speech, Sanjana. And one thing another very, very, what should I say, the thing that stood out in your speech was I just loved that quintessential clarity of your articulation, and that was a hallmark of your speech. Thank you so much. So as we move on, it's time for us to see yet another speaker set the stage on fire. And this speaker is a young teenager, and she comes, also under the prepared speeches segment, and she's Toastmaster Keerthana from Transcend Toastmasters Club 2. A student of the 3rd semester BCom, she has played many roles and won many awards at Toastmasters. But what we need to know more deeply about her is that she is a fervent artist, excelling in painting and mandala art. Can you believe that? She loves to travel and explore the world. And her best trip so far has been the one to Manali, she says, where she just loved the snow. And that was a dream come true for her. She thoroughly enjoyed the snow there, she says. She too, like our first speaker, Sanjana, is a foodie. And she too, like Sanjana, these are, look like twins. She too loves biryani. And added to that, she loves eating street food. And among the street food, she loves eating momos. But she misses that and cribs that COVID has again played spoil sport for her, because she's not able to go and eat that street food and the momos that she loves. But there's something that we need to know, and this will really make us very excited, and probably will be astonished to know this fact about her. She calls herself a tomboy and loves to be dressed in hoodies and jeans. Now, that's not what I was talking about. The excitement factor and the astonishing factor is that she is a bike rider. She rides a motorbike. inspired by her brothers, trained by her brothers. She rides the motorbike, I believe. I do not know whether she resorts to doing all those wheelies and, all those circus things on the road. I hope she doesn't. Maybe she can do it when people are not around. But that's Sanjana, the tomboy. And she is a movie buff too. Guess what? Come closer. She says her heart throb is Allu Arjun. She loves Allu Arjun movies, she says. And another lovely thing about her, and why not? Apart from her mother, she's the only girl among 13 male members of that family. Can you believe it? So no doubt, she's the apple of the family's eye. This enthusiastic youngster, as I have always seen, wears her heart on her sleeve. Always bubbly, always enthusiastic. And she's here to give her speech, and I invite her evaluator, Toastmaster G. Sudarshan, to explain the objectives of her speech. Over to you, Toastmaster G. Sudarshan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kokila. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Toastmaster Kirtana is pursuing her pathway leadership development. She is going to deliver the L4P2 project today. It has two parts. The part one she has already successfully delivered. The first part was to, the first speech was for the member to give a short overview of the plan for her project. The overall project is manage project successfully. In that, the first part she has delivered. Today, she is attempting her second part, which is for 5 to 7 minutes, where the purpose of the speech is for her to share some aspects of her experience managing a project. Best wishes, Toastmaster Kirtana. Over to you, TMOD, Toastmaster Kokila.
Oh, well, the tomboy. It would be disrespectful to call you a tomboy right now. You are the Toastmaster, and we will address you as Toastmaster Kirtana, our second speaker for today under the prepared speech segment. Her speech title is My Journey. Kirtana, My Journey, Kirtana. Over to you, Kirtana.
Wanting something is not enough. You must hunger for it. Your motivation must be absolutely compelling in order to overcome all the obstacles that inevitably come your way. A very good afternoon, respected Toastmasters. I am Kirtana Gupta from Transient Toastmasters Club 2. And thank you for that wonderful introduction, Kokila ma'am. Yes, I love riding bikes, but I've not tried any of the stunts right now. I would definitely give it a try. And now, coming to the speech part. How many of you think, or I can say, how many of you all present here got inspired at a very random moment from a very random person in a very unexpected way? Please give me a thumbs up. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Then I don't think so. My story would be much more different than I expected. Yes. Now, life. Yes, life is unfair. You have hustles, you have problems, you have success, ups, downs. But make sure that you don't give this as an excuse for all the mistakes you've done or for all the opportunities you have missed. Take a life in a sanguine way to enjoy it to the fullest. Now, coming to my part. Yes, as I mentioned, my PU life was a little bad. From a very early days, I am a passionate speaker. I love speaking, giving speeches and stuff. And I am a passionate artist. And then I used to study in Jain College for my PU. There I had got quite a few chances for expressing myself out. But as you all know, Jain College is a very big college. And for me, personally, I was not suitable to that college. I had a very obnoxious result for trying out all the things out there, and it was quite a bad day. And then finally, getting over all this time, I joined Transcend for my degree, and here comes the boom, Toastmasters. That day, when our seniors briefed us about the Toastmasters, all I wanted to do is ameliorate myself and make myself a better person, and thought this is an amazing opportunity for this. And with the help of my friend, them motivating me, I joined Toastmasters. Little did I know that this would change my life in a complete different way. And a person who's very scared to talk after all those horrible incidents in life, to now I won the first place in the ISC club level contest last year. That was my first speech before I delivered icebreaker as well. I've been getting many best prepared speakers, to the extent where being a best speaker of the year and outstanding member of the year 2021 in my particular club. It feels me today very proud to say that I joined Transcend Toastmasters Club 2, which completely changed the journey of my life. With the same motivation, same inspiration, why only our club, I felt? Why not outside clubs? This was the day. This was the day when I decided to firstly step into the outside world of our college. Ours was a college club. But how about the corporate clubs, the open clubs? There are many different things out there. So that day, I decided to take up my evaluation, or no matter what small the role is, I just wanted to go out and see the experience over there. And that is the other best decision I can say I did. Because as a person, before I joined Toastmasters and Transcend, my vocabulary was very weak. My confidence was very low, and my diction, my language, everything was low. But as I said, you want to do something. Yes, I wanted to improve my vocabulary. I wanted to improve my confidence. But just wanting something is really not enough. You have to accelerate it. What's the use of you not planning and taking action? Just wanting something won't fulfill your dream. So that's what I did. The first thing to improve my diction, I'm very glad to say that my college sends every day a new word. And me visiting so many Toastmasters meetings, particularly 2 or 3 in a day these days, I get 2 or 3 new words. So I just noted down all together. Today I have 130 words in my mobile notepad. All the new words which I can use and learn myself. So yes, like I said, without taking a plan, without taking action, you can never do it. You want to stay in your comfortable zone. You want to success. That's not happening. Those are the two different things. Like I came out their comfort zone, started attending different meetings. I got different feedbacks. I got different improvements. I got a huge lot of negative as well as positive experience out there, and you have to accept yourself. My first goal for the day was to attend 100 different club meetings where I stand in the very baby steps. I've completed 20, including this club, and more to go. And reaching out all this, I got a great exposure. Now, as I said, I've been attending different meetings. One day, I was there as a general evaluator for the meeting in Voice at Toastmasters Club. And there was a person called Toastmasters Tim to give a speech. It's like, gave you goosebumps. Never expected a person out of a country to come in your club, and that too where you're doing a general evaluation. My mind was just blanked out. All these days, I was like, my club, my country, but why not outside of that? When are you going to touch the new horizons? As you said, you have to keep new horizons for your goals. That speech he gave, that inspiration, that motivations, those emotions were a heart on a sleeve, and everyone over there got inspired up to the extent my second plan is to attend as many as international meetings possible out there. And for today, I complete 6, all in one in New York, Pennsylvania, California, New Jersey, and some other states. Well, you know what's the best moment going out there? You go there as a guest and someone asks you to introduce yourself. I proudly will say, I am Kirtana Gupta from Transcend Toastmasters Club, India. I say India. That moment gives you a huge goosebumps. And I thought international meetings, oh my God, what will I do when I get embarrassed? Will they accept me? But I got this thought, you get embarrassed, it's okay. There's a whole lot of people who you never meet in your life. So what's wrong? I took a sanguine side of this platform, Zoom platform. I attended 6 meetings till now, hoping for more. To summarize, this was my goal, start in 100 club meeting and outside club meeting, which I'm putting a baby steps to it. And my experience was astonishing all to that. And I hope my journey will continue the same way. Thank you so much. And back to the TM mode.
Sanjana, I'm sorry, Kirtana, I think I have to call the fire brigade. You have literally set the stage on fire. Yes. Goodness, with your speech, I have become speechless. Honestly, a wonderfully rendered speech, Kirtana. Few things, and not so few, but then what lovely experiences here. I feel so proud that I'm talking to an international Toastmaster. My goodness, I never expected this. You're a small packet and a big dhamaka, okay? And learning from you is to step out of your comfort zone. Don't always say, this is my club, I can do well here, but step out from there, explore other clubs, national, international, everywhere. And also, just wanting is not enough, but you have to work towards it. And the most important takeaway from me, from your speech, is that to accept feedback very gracefully, whatever it may be. What a wonderful learning to accept feedback no matter what. And also to touch new horizons. Yes, to touch new horizons. How true, how true. Kirtana, thank you so much. And honestly, you have set the stage on fire. I mean it. Thank you so much. All the very best for your future endeavors. Thank you. I would like to ask our president, do we take a break now? Are we allowed a break for 5 minutes? I think, oh my God, by the time the fire brigade comes and, you know, puts out the fire, we need that 5 minutes break. Shall we, TM Sanjana?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Okay,
Yeah, go ahead.
so it is by this clock, it is 16:09. 5 minutes from there would be 16:14, if my mathematics is right. I never got it right. Second segment, the most interesting segment of any meeting. And this segment will have everyone on their toes, because we never know when the call would come. So we have the table topics segment now, and I deem it my pleasure to introduce to all of you the table topics master. The table topics master for today, as we all know, is our SA Prasanna, playing a double role again today. He's very fond of playing double roles. All that I think he gets from the ideas from the movies that he watches, where people and his actors and all play multiple roles. So maybe that's an inspiration for him to play multiple roles. To introduce to all of you our Toastmaster Prasanna as the table topics master, there are a few things that many of us do not know about him. What we know about him is that he is a qualified chartered accountant and currently is teaching. But why did he, as a chartered accountant, choose teaching? We all know people who complete the chartered accountancy start their own firms, or they jump into the bandwagon of corporates, looking for jobs there. But here is a man who wanted to be very different and decided to take the road less traveled. And therefore, he chose the noble profession of teaching. Did you all know that among his friends group and his family, our Toastmaster Prasanna has won a sobriquet for himself? People call him Mini Bakasura, I believe. Look at him, and does he look even the miniest of Bakasuras? No. But trust me, he tells me he eats a lot. And I think Toastmaster Prasanna should take a lesson or two for us, eating a lot and still maintaining your composure and your physique like that. What do you do? That you'll tell us later. So this sobriquet of this Mini Bakasura is mainly because he has 4 friends. 4 friends and he make an awesome 5-some. And when I was looking into it, I thought this group should be called Panchamitra. Okay. And something very unique about his group is that, barring one friend who bears the name of Adarsh, all the others are blessed with the surname of Kumar. Bindu Kumar, Pavan Kumar, Prasad Kumar, finally Prasanna Kumar. Look at that. What a lovely Panchamitra, isn't it? And they all, I believe they travel a lot, these 5, and explore places and enjoy a lot. It reminds me of the movie Zindagi Na Mile Dobara. Very much like that. Not only that, all the 5 are great foodies. When they say see food, they just say attack. And then they eat and eat and eat and eat. And from looking at the way these friends have that camaraderie amongst them, I feel that friends who travel together, eat together, watch movies together, stay together. We've heard of the family that prays together, stays together. But I'm giving it a new turn. Friends that travel together, eat together, watch movies together, stay together. No wonder they have such a beautiful camaraderie among themselves. Yeah. And you know what? I'll let you into a secret. His Sundays, how do you think he spends? He watches 3 movies at least back to back on Sundays. Oh my goodness. Oh. TM Prasanna, what are you made up of? Okay. At this stage, I would like to call upon our table topics master to set the stage for the speakers whom he will randomly choose. Over to you, table topics master Prasanna.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kokila. First of all, I'm very much uncomfortable to call you Toastmaster Kokila, but then if I call you ma'am, Toastmaster Naina will point this out. However, I learned this in a hard way. So welcome to this exciting session, table topics. Usually when I teach any concept in the class, any concept for that matter, my students' immediate question is, do we ever use this in life? For example, HCF and then LCM, we learned this long back, but then I don't know whether we are using that in the real life or not. But trust me, this table topics will help you for all the situations. Recently, this is my favorite section. I don't want to name it in my college, but trust me, they are all fervid liars. They lie a lot. Recently, I was taking online class for them and I was asking one student, I don't want to call his name. So I just, come on, show me your homework. And then he told me that, I'm so sorry, sir, I did my homework, but then I forgot at home. and I was taking online class. I was like, boss, we are taking online class now. Can you show it now? You are in home only. Then immediately he changed his tone and then he said, no, sir, I meant I forgot in my grandparents' home. Now I'm in my parents' home. Then one more student, he joined very late to the class. I asked him, why did you join late? He said, traffic. What? And then he said, no, sir, network traffic. Oh my God, look at these kids. So table topics will help you to deal with these kind of real situations in life. So without further ado, let's begin with this. And let me tell you, the qualifying time for this is 1 minute. So minimum you should speak for about 1 minute to qualify in this table topics. Now I would like to call the first person to take this topic. So the first person is, I would like to call Toastmaster Sanjana, President. Toastmaster Sanjana, this is your topic. So many times we lied to your boss, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but then I thought definitely yes, because once I lied and then I went to the movie and my friends, that camaraderie gang, they tagged me in Facebook because I told my boss that I'm not well and then I went to the movie. So now, have you ever been in this situation? If yes, show some light. So over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prasanna, for this wonderful topic. Actually, this makes it easy because half the story is something that I've already told in my speech. Remember the boss that I told who made the working environment extremely toxic, and I got a new job and my joining date was not after the 1 month notice period. So I had to get out of that company at any cost. And that is when I had to use my table topic skills to draw a very colorful picture and let them know that I cannot continue in this organization anymore. So I faked an accident. I told that my back is broken. I'm not able to sit for more than 2 hours. The doctor has asked me not to sit for long, and he said, okay, fine, if that is the case is so bad, you just come, finish your full and final settlement and you leave. Yeah, so I was happy that my table topics work, but you have something called Manasakshi consent that you have. So when I went there and I asked, when I was taking my check and everything, he said, you're not even married and your back is already broken. What are you going to do for your future? I felt so bad at that moment. I didn't know what to say. I said, yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation. And I played along and I had to get out of that place. Yeah, so I felt bad for lying, but I had to do it because I just didn't have any other option. Thank you, Prasanna, for this wonderful topic, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanjana. That was very humorous. We enjoyed a lot. So now the next topic goes to Kirtana. Kirtana, here is your topic.
Yes.
Studying for the exams, this is the expectation and then there is the reality. Have you been to any of these situations?
Okay, very much relatable topics. And the very soon it's gonna come true for every examination. As mentioned, I am little much extended to sports, other stuff, other extracurricular activities than my studies. Every time teacher starts a new lesson, I'm like, yes, this is a new lesson. I'll sit, concentrate, prepare notes, 5 minutes, and then toast. This happens every time in the class, especially while coming to the exams. This recently, we have our internals coming from 5th in our college, and we knew this very long time before. All our teachers asked us to prepare for everything. At the starting, we were very studious, maintaining one notes for one subjects, everything. But coming to back now, I have all the subjects notes just in one book. I don't know which is which. And I had this friend, I don't want to name. He called me. He's like, exams are coming from 5th. I'm like, yes, I know. What are you studying? I told him the chapter name. He's like, which subject is it? That is the situation of our friends, gang. We don't even know which chapter, which subject is it. So for me, This literally happened. That's the case of my friends gang, and I know this is a beautiful revenge and a perfect platform to tell this. People are literally don't know which lesson, which subject, which song. Now, fifth is the exam, including me. I'll sit at the fourth night, open my textbook, and start reading for all those important questions. 10 books on my table, and dozing off on the table once again. So yeah, this is a very pretty much relatable topic to me, and I know someone is gonna kill me right now for saying this statement open out loud there. So thank you so much for this topic, table topic master. Back to you.
Oh my God, that was amazing. But then I don't know, should I talk now or, I mean, should I laugh for your all this story or not? Because I'm your teacher. Okay, fine. Let me tell you subject in the college. Well, moving on to the next topic, I would like to call Toastmaster Naintara. Here is your topic. So people usually they tend to give only the negative or the complaints, but then usually they don't give gratitude for whatever they have. So any light on this topic?
Yep. Good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to see you all again. I am very happy today, very positive, because I'm able to wear my contact lenses after 2 weeks. I'm full of gratitude because I wasn't able to wear my contact lenses, and I absolutely hate wearing specs. Now, the reason for this is that I had a freak accident 2 weeks back where my cat, whom I was teasing, swiped at my eye, and I couldn't see for a few minutes, and I rushed to the hospital, and I was just terrified that maybe something had happened to my eye. And in those few minutes, I was sure that if I could get my vision back, then I would never, ever, ever, avoid reading books again, because I made a New Year resolution, like everyone else, I'm sure, saying that I'll read more books and I'll stop social media or I'll reduce it. So this was like the universe's challenge to me, saying, oh, really, you're going to read? Okay, let me try this. Let's see what you'll do with one eye. And these were my thoughts as I was going to the hospital. At the hospital, the emergency doctor confirmed that nothing had happened to my eye, and slowly my vision was coming back. And I had a nice eyelid injury, which looked like kajal for a few days. And I was banned from wearing contact lenses. So that was a terrible punishment. I hate those things sitting on my face. Sorry to all the specs wearers. So today I'm in a very happy mood. I'm full of gratitude to the universe for having saved my eye. And I have read 6 books in the last 2 weeks, even though I was putting hundreds of eye drops and going to specialists and taking rabies shots and all that. So I think, yep, I am full of gratitude. And it was a terrible experience, but I didn't feel it because I have my eyes both working, and that's all I can focus on. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Prasanna.
That was very much inspirational. I literally enjoyed this, and many takeaways for me from your speech. Thank you so much. Now, the next topic, I would like to call our guest, Sanket. Sanket, are you here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, Sanket, here is your topic. There are many ways to make our mothers very happy. So I have noted down 3 ways here. One is to fill the water and then to keep it in the refrigerator, to put a phone on the fire, and then third one is to sit and then to study. So according to me, these are the 3 most important ways to make our mothers happy. Apart from this, do you have any other ways to make your mom happy?
Okay. First of all, can I ask the whole crowd to just give me a shout out saying that how many of you still fear your mother? I'm sure everyone should do. Everyone does. And whatever we do that, goes off our flowchart, off her flowchart, would just get her mad, and we are forcible to just pull it back on track. Yes or right? Yes or no? And things which actually make my mom more happy would be me going out, working out for myself. Even though I cycle a lot, it feels for her, it's like it's just time pass and it's not nothing that serious. But she would want me to reduce a lot of weight and get myself on good track of obviously studies. And I never had to clean the house, chop the vegetables, cook food. That would make my mom happy. And phones, coming to phones, yeah, phones are such an elegant piece of tech where it has helped us move 100 years in future, but still left our parents' mentality 1,000 years backward. So I would say that putting our phones on fire or a lava, it would be just nothing but experimental with our phones, but wouldn't change anything with our parents' mindset. Even though it's like, if you are using a phone and if there's any small problem with our parents' phone, and if we fix it in a jiffy, they feel we are Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates or someone like that. But if we use the same phone in the other hand, they feel like we're just nothing but lazy people who don't care for doing anything else. And I still remember this one time, when my mom asked me to go get some groceries, and I had my phone in my hand, and I guess I'm sure most of them would know what would have happened. What would happen? I just opened Grofers and ordered it. And that day, my mom was so angry at me that she started saying that once again you order something in that phone, I'm gonna throw it out of the window and breaking it up, and I will watch it shatter into 1,000 pieces. Well, I see my red card go off, and I feel that is my time. This is me, Sanket Bhagi, signing off. Thank you.
My God, Sanket, you know what? We are in the same boat. So even my mom scolds me if I order anything in online. But of course, I'm very lazy to go to the market and then to get the groceries. I have to do online shopping. Okay, so that was amazing, Sanket. Let's move on to the next topic. I would like to call Toastmaster Vijay for this. So Toastmaster Vijay, here is the topic.
Sure, Prasanna.
So this was during the first quarantine. I still remember I asked my mom to make gulab jamuns. I eagerly, was waiting in the kitchen and she was making. So even now, even I'm 28 years old, I still, whenever my mom makes yummy food or my favorite food, I will be in the kitchen only whole time. So do you have any experience like this?
Okay. The title says my mom, the food that I prepared during quarantine. So maybe I can talk on that.
Yeah.
Mom during quarantine. So actually during quarantine, so I don't stay with my parents. My younger brother stays with them. But during quarantine, I actually had a big problem. I missed having my mom's food also. Usually I go to my mom's home during weekends, but during the quarantine period, it was kind of lockdown, and I used to miss that food. And another big problem during that time was the cook also was not coming. So there was a different mom that got created at home, and that was me and my wife together cooking. And every day it used to be a difficult time. Sometimes I used to take up some time and do the breakfast, and sometimes in the afternoon I would try to help out, but it would not always work out, and food used to not get prepared on time, and meetings would start. So forget about having tasty food. Sometimes getting food on time used to be a big challenge. But as time went by, we started doing things better, and at least though not the tasty food, but the food started getting better and better. And then sometimes I used to get food from my mom also. My mom prepares non-veg really well. After the restrictions had eased out a little bit. So at that time, I used to get the parcel from my mom's home also. And when I used to eat that, I used to really love that a lot. And I used to pray that this kind of food, I wish this kind of food was available every day. So that was my experience during the quarantine period with respect to my mom's food.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay. That was amazing. I still remember all the Facebook and then WhatsApp stories during the first lockdown. Everyone, it's like they have to make Pani Puri at home and then they have to post it in WhatsApp story. Without Pani Puri, I strongly feel that quarantine burn is incomplete. So I'm pretty sure in each and every family, I'm sure they would have prepared their own or favorite snacks during the quarantine one. Well, let's move on to the next topic. I would like to call Muhammad Sharif. Muhammad
Hi,
Sharif,
Prasanna.
here is your topic.
Hi.
So usually this is what I do. Whole time I'll be sleeping in my room. Suddenly when my parents enters, I pretend that I'm studying. So do you like to talk about this?
Yes, thanks for the topic, Prasanna. Yes, this used to happen when I was in college. So whenever my dad used to pick up, like he to check out like what I'm doing. So that time, so I used to not study and do something else, which he used to get very much worried. But later, by seeing my results, I think he was like very much confident on me that yeah, this guy do the other things, but even he focused on studies. So that was the main goal, he always wanted me to do something in life. So he always used to give the lectures, but when the results started coming, so he stopped giving me the lectures, and he started having that faith that I'll do something in life. So finally, I just completed my degree and then got a job, and now I'm 30-year-old, I'm married, I have a kid. So it was a great experience. But again, even nowadays kids, before we didn't had the cell phones or the smartphones, but now kids are like wasting a lot of time. But still, in one way, some topics are very informative in the phones. So one way it has helped, but in a other way, I think again it kills the time, and main thing is the time is precious. So I think so that is the one thing which I keep telling this generation kids, like focus on your studies and do something in life other than wasting valuable time of your teenage or anything like that. So that's all about that. Thanks, Prasanna. Over to you.
Thank you, Sharif. That was wonderful. I always believe that we have to balance between both academics and the non-academics. Yeah, sometimes watching movie etc is a good, but then we have to balance both. Okay, so we'll take one last topic and then we'll end this. So any volunteer for this? Anyone? Okay, Sudarshan MA. Okay. So usually, this is teacher psychology. Usually in class A, we say that class B is better. In class B, we say that class A is better. So do you have any trust issues like this with your teacher when you were in school or college days?
Well, I believe this is a stage for confessions. So I'll begin mine. I do not know about the class, but I have been one of the worst students ever. And I used to give nightmares to my teachers, and the teachers used to take revenge on me. I still cannot forget how my class teacher used to take me to our house every day after the regular school hours and trying to teach me mathematics. And I used to be fed up of her. And yes, she was doing a great job as a teacher, but I was not in a position to understand her well-meaning things those days. That's it. I was dying to be let out like a cat. I wanted to go on the street, join my friends, enjoy, eat masal puri or pani puri and do whatever, but no. My evenings were with my teacher, and those days I can never forget. And so that is the reason, why. And I have done some nasty pranks in my class, where after the weekly test papers, if I had not done well in the exams, weekly test, I was so cunning and what is this? I'm not getting the word. I thought I was smart, but I never used to give the test paper back to the class leader. And then after the next class, when she was coming back to declare the test results, then I would say, Madam, my paper, you have missed my paper. My results, you did not give it to me. I was putting the ball into their court. Okay, I thought I was the smartest then. But then, yes, time teaches you. Time comes back as the most cruel teacher to teach you a bitter lesson that none can forget in life. So these have been my experiences, but then quite enjoyable. I just loved my school life like any other normal kid would do. And yes, I'm here. I'm at least this much because of my teachers' efforts. They have tried to chisel me all through my life, and I'm in this shape. Thank you. Over to you, Prasanna.
Thank you, Toastmasters Darshanime. That was amazing. So yeah, even today, sometimes, since I'm in this profession, I come across this very oftenly. Well, so this is end of the table topics. Now I would like to hand over the virtual stage to Toastmaster Kokila, TM Bodhi. My minute unmute.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. What a session it's been. I just loved the innovative topics that you had presented, and all the topics I felt resonated with all of us. As topic by topic that came onto the screen, I was imagining myself there. What would I have spoken about this? But then each speaker gave his and her opinion on the topic that was given to them, and everybody has done a marvelous job. Thank you for providing this third segment of the day to be so very interesting. Thank you very much, Table Topic Master Prasanna. Now, as we move to the this was a second session. We move on to the third segment of the day, and that is the evaluation section. So let me again re-invite our general evaluator, Toastmaster Jayasimha. Over to you, Toastmaster Jayasimha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kokila. Let's quickly start the evaluation rounds, evaluation of the prepared speeches. The first speaker was Toastmaster Sanjana, and her evaluator is Toastmaster Samarendra. Toastmaster Samarendra, will you start your evaluation of Toastmaster Sanjana's speech?
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayasimha. So, Toastmaster Sanjana was delivering an icebreaker speech, albeit in a different pathway. This is innovative planning, and she started her speech with a very powerful opening, which grabbed the audience attention right from the word go. And her speech had most of the hallmarks of a very good speech. For example, it was so beautifully structured, well knitted, and had an underlying theme. There was nothing to detract from the fact that the speech had utmost clarity, and to talk about the vocal variety, there was a distinct vocal variety. What I would have loved to see would be that you could have stood up and delivered the speech. That would have, really added a lot more punch, so to say, to the speech. In fact, we did notice your gestures, but they didn't come across so well because we couldn't see you when you were sitting. We couldn't see the gestures. So that would have been wonderful. And I noticed that in a few places, I felt some of the pauses were too short, like you were in a hurry, maybe, or something that, at a slight rush to move to the next part of the speech. Of course, the conclusion was very well presented, but I feel you could have put a little more emphasis on the end, especially where you said, my story is far from over. It was a little rushed. My story is far from over. probably could have packed a little more punch. My story is far from over. Having said that, I think you have only just begun, and we are going to hear even more wonderful speeches in this particular pathway. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster Jayasimha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samrendra. Toastmaster Sanjana, yeah. Samrendra, your evaluation is nice. I probably could have structured it slightly better, because you start with some of the good points. You basically say how you felt about hearing her speech, what were your feelings when you were listening to her speech, and then you talk about all the good points, and then maybe one or two improvement areas which you did say, and also demonstrate or recommend how she could improve on what and what is your recommendation on her improvement. So this is the kind of structure which generally is followed in Toastmasters. You start with some good points, and then you start go with a couple of improvement points, and then you conclude the speech emphasizing and reinforcing whatever is told in the first few parts. So that's the structure. Maybe the next time when you evaluate, please look into this structure of evaluation, because this structure will have more impact on what you had to say to the speaker. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Samrendra. The next speaker is Toastmaster Kirtana, and her evaluator is Toastmaster Sudarshan. Toastmaster Sudarshan, please go ahead.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayasimha. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests once again. Toastmaster Kirtana. Actually, energy and passion was flowing like River Ganga. It reminded me that what I was in Haridwar. Especially the energy with which you spoke, a lot of energy behind that. The best part was when you told how you introduced your country to the international audience. Fantastic. Your smile, hand gestures, the facial expressions, the tone, the content, the props, all of them aligned beautifully. I think that made me to think that it's such a connection between all of them, which enhanced the speech quality tremendously. Fantastic again. I noticed your previous, the part 1 speech, you got a feedback about the speed. I didn't find your speed either slow or fast. I found it quite good. Probably you worked on that. Excellent. And I could comfortably understand whatever you said. You could look into these 2 improvements in your speech. Number 1, you stood up and delivered speech. Great. Try to adjust the camera to your height so that it becomes a lot effective to see yourself more. Second point is your speech project has 2 parts here. You could have spent a few seconds to explain what you covered in the first speech, because most of us here were not present in that speech. So it would help us to connect your first part to second part better. What I found is your project objective included coming up with a plan, building a team, and then fulfilling the plan. I couldn't see that quite well in your speech. Maybe you used Toastmasters as a platform, as a team for your plan. But by stating that what is the plan you had in mind and how you went about implementing that plan, that's something I couldn't get quite well. Since your pathway is with respect to leadership development, I really urge you to relook into your content and see how you could have worded it to convey that picture, so that it augments well to your experience you want to generate from this pathway. You have and you are honing all skills required to become an excellent public speaker. I can clearly see that. Work on this particular couple of improvements I mentioned, and also looking into how to structure the content to help your desire to develop the leadership development. Before I part, I just want to say your speech reminded me this book. The book is about the Trail for Happiness Trail, a wonderful book. It talks about how important it is to have expansive learning to be happy. Best wishes. Over to you, Toastmaster Jaisimha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudarshan. Very, very nice evaluation, very articulate. The way you articulate the whole thing was very good. The way your analysis of her speech was very nice, and you structured it very well. And you ended your evaluation with a very nice motivating you talk about that book, and you also told us what you learned from her speech. Overall, a fantastic evaluation, very well structured, all good points you mentioned, and also you told her what needs to be done to improve her speech. Very well done. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Sudarshan for the wonderful evaluation. Let's now start with the 4 S's for today. Shalini, Shailesh, Sudarshan, and Shashank, who have taken up roles of timer, accounter, grammarian, and listener. So let's listen to Toastmaster Shalini and find out how this meeting went by, how the prepared speeches and the other things went by as far as the time is concerned. Toastmaster Shalini, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaisimha. Here is the timesheet I've prepared, and I'll share the screen. Just a second. I don't know how to. Can somebody help me share the screen?
Just click on the share screen and then you will find your Excel or Google Sheet.
Yeah, actually, it's not reflecting. That's why.
So you first open. Okay,
I got it. Thank you.
Please open the file and then.
Yes. So I hope my Excel is visible to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So all the speakers have completed their speeches within the time. All the table topic speakers, Sanjana, Kirtana, Nayantara, Shekhar, Vijay, Muhammad, and Sudarshan MA. Everybody has completed their speeches within the time limit. Even the speakers and the evaluators have completed their speeches within the time limit. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster Jaisimha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shalini. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Shalini. Is this the first time you've taken up the role of timer?
Yes.
Good job done. The way you put it up in the Excel sheet, everything perfect and clear. Great job done as a first time timer. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Shalini.
Thank you.
Can you please stop the screen share so that we can go to the next. While she is taking it out, let's hear from the accounter, Toastmaster Shailesh. Just go to share screen once again and take it out. Up there, you'll see stop screen share. Stop screen share. Yeah, right. Shailesh, the accounter, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Jaisimha. I would be sharing my Excel sheet. So Toastmaster Kirtana has not used any filler words, and then other speakers and table topic speakers have used the filler words. So this is the snapshot of the sheet. So I'll just keep on the screen for a couple of seconds to just view for all the members. Yeah, thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Jaisimha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shailesh. You put in a lot of effort to make this Excel sheet and also listen and note down all these things. Good effort. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Shailesh as the accounter for today. The grammarian, our resident guard, Toastmaster Sudarshan, will you please come on mic and let us know how the session went by.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Nothing much to write home about the not so good or weak usages. I'll just jump into the good usage part. And coming to that, I'll begin from Toastmaster Samarendra. I like the words, the term versatile speaker, and you used albeit, which means even though, which is a conjunction, and most of the hallmarks, and well knit. These are the words which I liked. And Sanjana, nook and corner, toxic, entrepreneurial bug, and random. Very catchy. And Kirtana, you must hunger for it. A very catchy opening. And Hazels, okay, I'll come to this in the end. To touch new horizons was really very catchy and astonishing, studious. That was a very well done speech, but you said passionate speaker. You just let go of the opportunity to use the word of the day. You could have said fervid speaker. And I must mention now that your evaluator, Toastmaster Sudarshan G, was fantastic, but you two barely just let the cat let it go. You just fell short of the word of the day. You said passionate, energetic and passionate. You could have used the word fervid. That is all. Otherwise, very well done. And Prasanna, fervid liars was excellent. Good, very catchy usage. And Nayantara said, swiped at my eye. The cat swiped at my eye. Yes, I can just visualize that happening because I have taken many a swipe. And now let me come to this huge downpour. Ladies and gentlemen, please open up your umbrellas. Now here comes the report about Toastmaster Kokila, TMOD Kokila now. There's going to be a downpour. Unobtrusively, articulate, and word of the day, it's a cakewalk for her. She has been using it. And fervid cook was catchy, very catchy. And cast its evil eye, culinary expertise, happy-go-lucky, mighty pleased, personified, mother of all virtues, quintessential, heartthrob, apple of the family's eye, bubbly and enthusiastic, call the fire brigade, jump into the bandwagon, chose the road less traveled, and sobriquet, awesome fivesome, barring one friend, Panchamitra, and camaraderie. Well, I guess I have not missed any. And yes, the God inside me was slightly pleased when I used the terminology. My teachers chiseled me. Okay, that is it. Over to you, G. Jayasima.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudarshan. A big round of applause. As usual, a fantastic job done by Toastmaster Sudarshan as grammarian. I really love the effort you put into this, really like the passion you bring into this role, and also the fact that you're such a good listener that you need to catch all these phrases and similes and metaphors and explain them so beautifully. A great job done, Toastmaster Sudarshan. Listener for today, Toastmaster Shashank, can we have your session at the end of the meeting after the general evaluation is done? Is that all right for you? Toastmaster Shashank?
Yes, that's fine.
Sure. Okay. So we'll have it at the end of the session just after my the complete evaluation is done. Sure. So let me start the evaluation of today's meeting with the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Prasanna. Did a great job. Although the meeting started 10 minutes late, he read out the 3 rules of the meeting. He talked a little bit about the theme. He set the tone of the meeting very well. The energy was very good. He sent out the guest link in the chat box so that the guest can register their names. He also sent out the contact details in the chat box. All these things were very well done. And he also sent the voting link just in time before the evaluation started. That was also very well done. Everything about Prasanna Kumar, about both as the Sergeant at Arms and also as a tech moderator, everything was fantastic. 2 suggestions. One is, of course, the timing. Although it's quite understandable that a technical glitch happened, It's better you diagnose what actually is the problem and sort it out fully so that we'll not have such glitches in future. Yeah, that is one thing. And secondly, I also would like to suggest a welcome message to all the guests. Now, in the chat box, you would be knowing, of course, who the guest would be, and you can just send out a message in the chat box welcoming them to the meeting so that they will feel more comfortable. Yeah, so these two suggestions, but all in all, a great job done by Toastmaster Prasanna, both as Sergeant at Arms and also as a tech moderator. A big round of applause for Prasanna. As presiding officer, Toastmaster Sanjana, the president of Dhwani Toastmasters, as usual, she elevated the mood of the meeting. She talked about the theme very well. She started interacting with the members, and that increased the energy in the meeting. She also talked to the guests very well. The way she introduced and talked to the guests were very well done. She elaborated and she definitely elevated the mood of the meeting. The audience engagement overall, both with the members and with the guests, both were very well done. I really liked the way you talked about the stage and what the stage meant to you. And I really liked when you linked the stage to Dhwani platform. That was also very well done. A good message, you energized the meeting and you took the energy of the meeting a couple of notches higher from the Sergeant at Arms. Great job done by the presiding officer, Toastmaster Sanjana. A big round of applause for her. Toastmaster of the day, Kokila. Now you talked about Ralph Smedley, you talked about the Toastmaster structure, you talked about the Toastmaster movement. The speaker introductions were very well done. The transitions in between the speeches was very well done. You talked about the theme very well. There's a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm in the way you conducted the whole meeting. I could really see the effort and the preparedness when you came for today's meeting. You put in a lot of effort, a lot of preparedness. You had, it was very well prepared session for you as far as you as Toastmaster is concerned. There basically are three things which, four things actually, three things which Toastmaster of the day as an MC should do. One is she is an anchor. You did the job perfectly well. And the second is you held the meeting very well. The whole meeting was held together very, very well. And the third is you were always in control. So all these things, the hallmarks of a good MC, all these things were done very well by you today. There's just one box which you shouldn't have ticked, which you did. And that was never steal the limelight in the meeting. Now, the job of a Toastmaster is to beat the meeting together, to string it together, to allow all the speakers enough time and never to really steal the limelight of the meeting. Now, just two suggestions as far as this is concerned. One is the timing, the introduction of the speakers. Maybe about 15 to 20 seconds is good enough to introduce the speakers. Number two, the transitions after the speaker has spoken, although it was done very well. But I would suggest to limit the transitions to about less than 10 seconds so that you can get along with the speeches and the speakers. I'm not very sure how much time you took for the whole session today, but I would suggest that you make it crisper so that things will get moving faster and also we will not lose out on time. One of the best emceeing I've ever seen for a long time, Toastmaster Kokila. Everything was fantastically done. Of course, whenever you go on stage, whenever you speak, it's always a pleasure to listen to you. And today was no different. It was absolutely well done. Great job done. For a big round of applause for Toastmaster Kokila for a fantastic effort and the way she put it up together and held the meeting together. Table topic master, Toastmaster Prasanna. You explained the table topics, what actually table topics is. You actually explained it very well. You gave a few examples and you explained what table topics is all about and how important it is table topics. You did it very well. It was the choice of the topics were fantastic, easily understandable, and the way they showed the pictures, it was very well. The choice of all the topics were very good. It was very entertaining. The transitions after the speaker spoke, that was also very well done by you. Two things which I thought I would suggest. One is the timing. You should tell before you start the session how much time the speaker can take, which is about 1 to 2 minutes. I'm not very sure if you spoke about the timing of the table topics. And number two, the choice of speakers. I would recommend a choice of speakers as first will be people who have not taken any roles. See, the idea of a Toastmasters meeting is that everybody, or maybe close to everybody, whoever is there attending the meeting, should speak in that meeting. Now, there were a few people who had not taken any roles. And so the first thing you do is to call people who have not taken roles. The second is people who have less speaking roles. For example, a timer or an accounter would not have much to speak. So you can probably call them in the second level. And after that, you can call people, the guests and other members of the club. So that is the only suggestion I have. Great choice of topics. The way you explained the table topics and the way you conducted the whole session was absolutely fantastic. A big round of applause for the table topic master, Toastmaster Prasanna. Everything about the meeting today was good. The prepared speeches were very good. The evaluations were very good. The table topic session was very good. Of course, the best part about today's meeting was a fantastic emceeing done by Toastmaster Kokila. Great job and a great meeting today. Nothing really, as far as the improvement of the whole meeting is concerned, I couldn't really find much, but for the technical glitch, which I'm sure Prasanna will sort it out by the next meeting. I would now request the listener for today, Toastmaster Shashank, to start his session. Toastmaster Shashank, please unmute and go ahead with your.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Thank you. All right. I hope all of us have listened fervently to the session today, and let's have our hearts on our sleeves and our ears on our sleeves, like I said. So the first question would be, we have to follow dash. I can't give you more.
Rules.
No. It's the clue is it's somewhat related to technicalities. Anybody apart from Prasanna, of course.
Prasanna only is clueless.
Yeah.
Okay, the answer is digital etiquette.
Oh.
It's a wonderful pair of words. I picked it up. So yeah. So next one is
Shashank, sorry, I answered that question, but I was on mute. Digital etiquette.
Oh, great! Awesome.
Please give me a round of applause.
Yes.
Okay, that is akin to bowling a no ball in cricket.
No wonder Kokila is often called the Chupa Rustam of Dhwani.
My God.
Okay, here we go next. PhD in dash. No clues anymore. No Prasanna.
PhD in
Sarcasm.
Yes.
Yeah. Sanjana. Yes.
This too shall pass was said by dash.
Samarendra.
No. Sudarshan. Which Sudarshan?
MA.
Yes. Okay. Who was the last guest who was spoken to by Sanjana?
Santosh.
You shouldn't have said it. Minus point.
I'm sorry.
I forgot to give the disclaimer. Sorry about that. Okay. Anyways, the whole nation was in the dash of dash. The
In
entire
awe,
nation,
in awe, in awe.
Kokila can't say it, but
No, I said it.
but you just told half the answer. Anyone can tell the full answer.
Okay, I won't.
That's another no ball.
So someone's got a free hit. Complete the answer.
You know.
The entire nation was in the dash of dash. Anybody?
No idea.
Awe of grandeur.
Oh.
Beauty, beauty. Well done.
All right. Next one. Dhwani is an dash of the Toastmasters. No, not for Kokila, of course.
Okay, confessional space. Confessional room.
Sorry?
Confession room.
No.
Offshoot.
I myself don't remember what it
Offshoot
is.
is correct. Who said that?
Vijay.
Oh, did I say that?
Brilliant.
I don't even remember what I said.
Brilliant.
What is that? What was that?
Offshoot.
Dhwani Toastmasters is an
This
offshoot
paper
of
has set
Toastmasters International.
Awesome.
very
Okay,
tough
next.
paper.
Okay, next. Toastmaster Jayasimha is dash and dash, according to Toastmaster Kokila.
Oh my goodness. What?
Oh, a lot of things.
What did I say? I said so many things about him.
Resident God.
Too crazy. I mean, that was a bouncer for me, actually. Two words which I have not heard till date.
Unobtrusively.
No.
He will unobtrusively evaluate something I said.
Well,
One
this
of
was
the-
during his introduction.
One of the words,
spoken.
only one
Wow.
clue is, one of the words is the word of the day. The other one you can tell.
Perfect.
He's a forward.
Perfectionist.
No.
No, he's a self-motivated perfectionist. He's a
No.
forward cook.
No. The answer is
It's dash and dash. There are two adjectives.
fervid and fastidious.
Oh yeah, he was. Oh my goodness, he's
I used that word too. I used that word.
fastidious. Okay.
I missed that word. Thank
I
you.
just love that word, fastidious.
I loved it too. Thanks so much for introducing that. I'm gonna Google it up to check.
And Toastmaster Jayasimha is very much that. If you
Okay.
know him well.
Next question. The phrase of the day was introduced to the world in which play to all of us?
I'm not supposed to tell that, right?
Yes, please don't.
Shakespeare.
Yeah, but you can
Which
message
play?
it to me, Sudarshan.
Which play? Which play? What is
Shakespeare
it?
has been remembered umpteen number of times today. So
Othello,
please name him
Othello.
again.
It's
Othello is
Othello.
correct.
It
Othello
was
is correct.
from the play Othello.
Othello is correct.
I said it.
Okay.
I think
Who are the
Samarendra
two-
said it first.
Okay, this is an easy one. Who are the two actresses whom Sanjana likes? Sanjana, don't answer.
Alia Bhatt and Deepika Padukone.
Oops, I should have said Kokila, don't answer as well.
You're missing on your disclaimers.
Third no ball and Kokila cannot bowl anymore.
Okay, next. What was the first gesture of Sanjana in her speech? Sanjana cannot answer.
Maybe crying.
Yeah, she did this. She did this. Crying. Yeah, you're right.
No, that was not. I knew you will. I knew you all will say that, but that's not the right answer.
Oh my goodness.
Knock knock.
No.
Knock Knock came in later in a speech.
Is shush does.
Is correct.
What's that?
Is correct.
Shush.
Okay, what's the name of Sanjana's cafe? Sanjana, don't answer.
I can answer?
Chakoli.
No. Chakoli is correct. Okay. Gratitude is dash. Kokila, don't answer.
God.
Everything important.
No, no, no.
This can go on for a while.
The mother of all virtues. Mother of all
Excellent.
Yeah,
virtues.
right.
Okay. Who's this? Kokila don't answer and Kirtana don't answer. Kirtana is an artist who pursues dash art.
Mandala.
Mandala.
Very good. Okay. Kirtana don't answer. Anybody else can answer. Even Kokila can answer.
Which one?
How many times did Toastmaster Kirtana use the word amazing in her speech?
Oh, goodness.
Oh my God.
That's an amazing question, Shashank.
This is
Amazing.
This is out of syllabus.
Only Kirtana can answer it.
3 times.
This question paper
times
has
is
been
correct.
set up to
3
make
times
us
is
fail.
3 times is correct. Who said that?
I didn't say.
The R counter should know this.
Sudarshan said it, yes.
It was a wild guess though. Sorry.
It's okay. Sometimes being wild is fine.
That's a good one.
Next one is name any 3 international Toastmaster club meetings attended by Kirtana. Kirtana don't answer.
New Jersey.
It was too fast for me to even
New York.
note down.
New Jersey.
New York.
I'm getting distributed answers. I want one person to answer 3.
One person doesn't have the answer.
Pennsylvania.
New Jersey.
New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania.
Excellent. Shailesh, well done.
Shailesh gathered all the answers and presented it to you.
Shailesh,
That's
not
called
very
smart work.
difficult.
That's called smart
All
work.
neighboring states.
Yes.
That's called smart work. Good. Well done. Well done.
Yes.
Okay, next. Okay, this one might be a tough one, but Kirtana don't
You
answer.
don't say.
When is Kirtana's upcoming exam?
February 5th.
5.
February 5th.
Oh my God. Everybody were paying
What?
attention to that only, I
She'll
guess.
get more tensed. All of them telling her to go study. Exams are right here.
And she'll
Okay.
have 10 books in
I'm
front
the
of her.
mastermind behind that February 5. I did the
I'm
time
sure
table.
I'll be absconded from your side for a few days, sir, for taking that table topic.
No.
No, it was a strategic play from Prasanna to give that topic to you. Don't worry.
Oh.
Oh God, look at that. I love it. A
Great
good
realization.
Shank.
Okay, sir. Okay, next question. Last 2 questions. Last guest who spoke in the TTM session. Prasanna, don't answer.
Muhammad Sharif.
Muhammad Sharif.
Excellent. Shailesh, well done. Okay, last question. Toastmaster Sanket, don't answer. Toastmaster Sanket said something has made us go 100 years ahead, but something else has made us go 1,000 years behind. What
The
is it?
mobile phone. The
The
mobile phone.
and the
Mobile phone
technology.
ahead. Are parents thinking behind, I guess?
Yeah, they think it's gone
Brilliant.
1,000 for them.
Brilliant. Sanjana, well done. And all of you, well done. Excellent. Thank you so
My
much.
parents
And
won't be proud
over
of
to you.
me for this.
Thank you so much. And over to you, Jaisima, sir.
A big round of applause for Toastmaster Shashank. Wonderful job done, Shashank.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
With this, the evaluation round comes to an end, and I'll be handing over the stage, or rather the mic, to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kokila.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Jaisimha. Before we call it curtains, just a little roundup of what happened today and getting back to the stage. Let us not forget the fact that every stage in our lives lays the foundation for the next stage in our lives. This kind of metamorphosis is so vital for all of us. Never think that, even for a moment, when we are going through this metamorphosis, there comes a stage that is a dormant stage, just like it happens in the metamorphosis of a butterfly. And there's a stage which is a stage of dormancy, that of the chrysalis, or the cocoon stage as it is called. But what's happening inside the cocoon or the chrysalis is something that we cannot see from the external, from the outside as such. But lots of things happen. But once that stage is over, what emerges is beauty personified, and that's a fully grown adult butterfly. But to become that adult butterfly, it had to go from the egg stage to the caterpillar stage to the chrysalis stage, and then emerge as a butterfly. All of us are like that. Our lives may not be defined on terms of the metamorphosis of a butterfly. Nevertheless, let us understand that each stage in our lives prepares and teaches us a lot of things, and that is what helps us to face life's challenges. Sometimes the same thing happens with respect to trees. When the leaves are fully grown and when it is time for fall or autumn, the leaves just drop. But then there's a lot of things happening inside the tree. And you will see after the entire fall, small little leaves emerge. They are pink in color. As they grow, they'll be turned green in color. They will take on their individual function of photosynthesis, and hey presto, you'll have a green canopy. That's what life is all about. That's what a stage is all about in everybody's lives. My dear fellow Toastmasters at Dhwani, I hope all of you enjoyed this particular stage, the physical stage, the virtual stage, and this extremely high learning stage that we've had at Dhwani's meeting today. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening and have a wonderful Sunday. Over to our President, TM Sanjana.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kokila, for that wonderful session. I thoroughly enjoyed today's meeting. Thanks to all the role players and especially to you for not just setting the stage on fire. It's on plasma right now. So thank you. I hope all of you enjoyed the meeting. I believe the results are out. Before that, I'm just going to make one announcement with a quick show of hands. Let me know if you guys are up for this. In other clubs, they have introduced something called a wheel of speakers, where every week we will be spinning a wheel and choosing dormant speakers randomly. You will be given about 3 weeks to come up with your speech, 3 to 4 weeks, 3 weeks at the max. And you will have to mandatorily give a speech. Even this applies for both role players as well as speakers. Just to encourage more participation, this is something that we've come up with. Are you all up for this? Please raise your hands and give me a thumbs up. Oh my God, I just have one person. Yes. Okay, great. So yes, it will be introduced next week, and I hope that we'll have more speakers from our clubs participating. And I believe the results are out. So over to Toastmaster Prasanna to announce the results.
Thank you. The results are ready. So the best prepared speeches, okay, it's a tie between the two speakers. So Toastmaster Sanjanandan, Toastmaster Kirtana, congratulations. Both are winners. Aha Invoker, Toastmaster Sudarshan MA, congratulations. Resident God and then Resident Aha Invoker. Then Best Role Player, congratulations Toastmaster Kokila and Toastmaster Prasanna. We are both sharing now, sharing this award. Then Best Taggle Team award goes to Toastmaster Shashank, listener.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Then the best table topic speaker goes to Toastmaster Kirtana. Congratulations. Then best evaluation goes to Toastmaster Sudarshan Ji. Congratulations. Congratulations all the winners. Over to you. Toastmaster Sanjana.
Thank you. With that, I would declare this meeting as closed. Anybody who wants to stay back and chat up, you can do that, and the rest of them. Bye-bye.